Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So again, this is my second video from that I'm doing after school, and this one is going to be earlier than yesterday's. So, good. So, funny story, I actually just finished playing When No One Goes from How to Rachel on the piano. And again, it's Little House Week, so I'm just trying to learn that song. And also, if you guys are looking for a really good movie to watch, a movie I found is 5 Feet Apart. Yes, there is some swearing and some other things mentioned in there that I do not care to repeat, but it's still a good movie. It deals with cystic fibrosis, which is a genetic disease that affects mostly your lungs. And this is actually, cystic fibrosis is actually a bit personal to me because my cousin has cystic fibrosis. And the movie, it kind of opened my eyes. Like, I never realized that they had to be distant. I only realized that it was a disease that affected your lungs. And the age limit is now up to 30, and that's probably with the lung transplant. So, we'll see. Now, anyway, for some reason I always seem to waste like a minute and something talking about random stuff. But, okay, on to today's video. Today's video is titled, What If They Never Left, and in they, I mean the Ingalls. Most specifically in Season 9. I am not including Mary in this because she left in Season 8. And, I mean, that one, we will probably know what happened. Both the blind school got taken over by the government, and like Adam said, he only had 2 cases in Walnut Grove or 2 clients. So he needed to make a living, so he took over his dad's law firm in New York. I wonder, and Nellie and Percival moved to New York as well. I wonder if they're into each other. But that may be another video. Okay, so, as you all know, in Season 9, the first episode is titled, Times Are Changing. And, as Laura says, she said it was a hard year for all the farmers, including Pa, who lost his crop and decided he had enough. Now, as you know, this happens a lot. In 100 Mile Walk, he actually ends up walking 100 miles to work in a quarry because his crop was lost in the hail. Same with a lot of farmers. We see that in that episode. In Season 2, the tornado hits their house. So he decides he's going to move his family back to Wisconsin. He loses his crop a few more times, and then the railroad comes in Season 4, and they move to Winoka, and they move back. I'm not really sure what's up with that. Something about higher taxes in the railroad, I don't really specifically remember. But in Season 9, Laura says that, yes, it's been a hard year for everyone. People lost their crops, including Pa, because he's a farmer, and he's not the most successful farmer. And eventually he decides to move the family to Burr Oak, Iowa, which is actually in the books. I watched a short thing explaining the books. I never read them. But that's apparently where I think Grace was born. Again, I'm not 100% sure. And he moves them to Burr Oak, Iowa, so he can make a living. Now, in that episode, only Michael Landon is in that episode, partially because those guys had already left. And pretty much he says that he had moved the family there, and in that episode he's come back for the remainder of their stuff. So what if they never left? Well, Maud probably continued working at the restaurant with Hester Sue, and Mrs. Olsen, and eventually Willie, because Willie, we do know by the end of the season, is running the restaurant. And Charles would continue working at the mill, farming. The house would still be a bit cramped because Grace is downstairs where Carrie used to sleep. Carrie and Cassandra share the loft, the one side, and Albert and James share the other, which doesn't make sense because Laura and Mary shared that bed when they were kids. So why can't Carrie and Cassandra share that bed and the boys get the other side? But whatever. Albert would probably eventually graduate school, of course, because Charles is a farmer, Albert would mostly be relying on scholarships to go into medical school, and he probably would have still died of leukemia or whatever. That probably would not have changed. James James would probably still be in school in Mona Grove. Cassandra and Carrie the same. And they would probably have Miss Plum as a teacher because Laura didn't quit because Charles and those guys left. She quit because she had Rose in season 8, and she decided to take care of. So I guess in season 8 she decided to finish off the school year and then teacher. And we do see that she does still tutor. So she does still teach, but she tutors kids that maybe are struggling in a specific subject. So they would have Miss Plum. And as for the blowing up of the town, that might have still happened. That would have been a good way to end the series because, as you know, that's actually pretty much how we ended the series. So season 9, as you know, it ends on a kind of, no, we're left like that's the end of the series. It doesn't seem right. Matthew leaves. Mr. Edwards goes into the boarding house. Mr. Montague comes to the boarding house, so there's gotta be stuff on him. And by the way, I love Mr. Montague. I don't know why. He's a character. And so he did some legacy movies. One on the Albert story, which I have a video on that tomorrow. Mostly just of the end of the character story. And then in Last Farewell, that's how he ends the series. But then he does a Christmas one, which doesn't make sense because that's technically the last legacy video of when they were in the city and they go out somewhere and Rose is kidnapped. But that's for another time. So that's the end of this video. Conclusion: what would have happened if the Ingalls never left? Not much. Things would have continued the way they were, and he would have had to come up with another way to leave this. Yeah. As of that, the reason they left is partially because Michael Lamb is moving on to some other stuff. That's for Michael Lamb. I'm not sure why the other guys left. Maybe he just wrote them out of the show. It's like the Edwards. That will never be explained, but so yeah, if they never left, not much would have changed. And not much changed when they left. The Carters kind of became the new season 1 Ingalls. So that's pretty much it. So let me know if you want me to do a video on 5 Feet Apart, if you want me to talk a bit more about cystic fibrosis, as I'm trying to let the world know what this disease is and what we can do to help. So let me know if you want me to do stuff on that. And tomorrow, the creation of Albert. Next week, Boat Heavenly Week. I almost forgot what week was after that. So, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys.